My name is Dan Freeman. I am the band director at Valley Park and Mission Trail Elementary Schools. I'm also the assistant band director here at Blue Valley North, and this is where my office is. If you call my voicemail, this is where I am. So kind of welcome to my home, and welcome to all of your homes here in a couple of years when you get up to the high school in Blue Valley North. We thank you for being here. We're so lucky to get to use the auditorium for this. It's really cool to have the kids up here on stage. This is always an exciting concert for me personally, and I hope it is for you as well, because tonight you see the first year strings in front of you. You're going to see the beginning band, first year band in just a little bit, and it all starts here. And just about 3 days ago, I spent an entire day on Saturday with a bunch of our high school students at the Northeast Kansas District Honor Band at Blue Valley High. It's the stepping stone to Allstate, and I got to watch about 8 or 10 of my students who I started about 6 to 8 years ago in my previous job in DeSoto, performing on stage with those all-district bands, which is the stepping stone to Allstate, which is the stepping stone to college scholarships and things like that in the future. And so it's really cool to see it all happen, and it all starts right here tonight with this first performance. It's a really fun time. We thank you all for being here. Remind you a couple of concert etiquette type things. Please don't use your cell phones during the concert. Please shut them off, or make sure they're not going to make any noise. We have enough music going on here without an accompaniment from your cell phone. Also, remember that it's a concert, and applaud appropriately for a concert. We're in a nice concert hall, and we can treat it that way. And I am really excited to hear this first year strings group. So please welcome to the stage Ms. Schuler and the first year strings.
So with the notes from the D major scale, of course, you're able to combine them in different patterns and rhythms and steps and leaps and skips and to make songs. And so we're going to play for you Song for Christine. started with, this is how you open the case. We have really come a long way to be able to continue to work on holding the bows the correct way, and that's something that evolves. Even some of the year 2 students will tell you that there's still times where they look at their bow hold and they go, no, that's not quite right. So these things are skills that are ever evolving and ever being fine-tuned. So just keep that in mind as you're doing progress. It's not meant to be absolutely perfect this first year. It's supposed to be on its way. So we're going to listen now to 3 students representing the cello section. The cello is an instrument that we have available to the year 1s, and then the violas and violins. We have Catherine, Olivia, and Jennifer, and they're going to play a song for you called Morning Dance. We work on, besides pizzicato, is our tall posture. So for every great posture you see on stage, that's also a work in progress. And we also work on making a big sound, because we know that our concert's going to be in this huge hall, so we have to use the bow and try to use a lot of it so that we can fill this hall with our sound. So that's what we're going to work on as we perform a lightly round. Before we play our final tune, I just want to thank, we have some high school mentors that come over from Blue Valley North and work with these students. None of them could be here this evening, but I wanted to say thank you to them, and maybe some of their families are here can deliver the message for me. I also want to make sure that we say thank you to Mr. Lane and Ms. Eubanks, who are here this evening representing our administration from Valley Park. They deserve a round of applause. We really appreciate their continued support of the instrumental and vocal music programs at Valley Park. We think it's an important part of your students' education. So here is Rolling Along, which you might recognize as Mary Had a Little Lamb. just in case you want a little, if you didn't find your student this first time, can I have my third row of students stand up? Stand up. That's Mitchell through Caitlin. Stand up. Go ahead. Stand up, Emma. Stand, there we go. And then, there they are. And you guys can then follow down. We're going to take just a couple of minutes to transition to year 2 strings. And before each row leaves the stage, we'll have them stand. Please be sure you get your music. All right, second row friends, can you stand up? That's you, Victor. There we go. Thank you, Nahang. There we go. There's our second row. Fantastic. On this one. They're going to drop their instruments off backstage, and then they're going to come back out and have a seat in the auditorium. First row friends, stand up. All right, very nice. And head off. There's some notes that you didn't hear from the year 1 group. They played all F sharps, and year 2 has learned F natural. Selections amongst the year 1 and year 2 set, but you will have a chance. There are some in our book that weren't on the program tonight, and we're going to be looking at those next week during strings class time and late this week, and you will get a chance to have your own private recital because one of their assignments for over winter break is to put on a show for you. I call it the at-home holiday concert, and you'll get a little half sheet about that. And it just basically means that they're going to play 3 tunes for at least 2 people who are going to sign them and maybe make some comments like, bravo, bravissimo, and then turn in their 1 program. So perhaps you'll get an encore performance of some of the songs from this evening or some new selections that we work on between now and winter break. So we are going to hear now from some soloists from year 2. We're going to start off with Jeffrey, who's going to play French folk song on the cello. see another special technique that we've learned just this year called slurring, and that's where we play more than one note in a single bow. So that takes some planning and some strategizing, and we hope to impress you with a tune we hope that a lot of you are familiar with, a tisket, a tasket. And now Arthy's going to play a lovely little tune called Bluebird Song. Well, in case you've been wanting to go to the Caribbean, we will now transport you there with Banana Boat Song. Some of you might recognize it as Deo. Now we're going to hear from Justin. He's going to play another familiar tune. This one's loaded with old folk songs, this program. This is Bingo. Try not to sing along. It's going to be hard because you're going to be tempted. But yeah, I think you can control yourselves. Here's Bingo. lots of fun concerts coming up in second semester, especially with the year twos, where they get to see what orchestra looks like in 6th and 7th and 8th and 9th and all the way through high school. So if they're interested in switching to double bass, that becomes a possibility, and the music just kind of progressively gets more and more intricate, more and more interesting, and I really do hope that they continue on. We get just a little flavor of that in our last selection. This has got each instrument is playing different notes. We've got 3-part harmony in this one, and I hope that you enjoy Vera Lera Lera. Now for something completely different. We're going to hear the choir over on the right. Since some students need to make the transition, they're going to walk up and then some of the year 2P talented students that are doing more than one ensemble because they enjoy being part of the wonderful music program so much that it takes us a little extra time to do transitions. So we appreciate your patience. And I think this is the quietest audience for transitions ever. I just want to see if you are. Is everyone awake? Okay, good. Because I was a little. You guys are such respectful audience. I think we're waiting for maybe one more. All right, we're all here? Okay. Friday, so they're going to be in their Valley Park Music t-shirts or plain black shirt and come to school that way on Friday. And then we're headed to First National Bank at 4650 College Boulevard. So if you're interested in seeing us, these tunes plus one more, we'd love to have you in attendance at 1:30-ish, just in their lobby. It should be a fun, happy music-making time. The next piece features two soloists, Will Hancock and Nicole Farrell.
Oh, Shenandoah, I long to hear you. And see you rolling there. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to hear you. Away from Delaware.
great listeners and good at following directions. I'm going to take you to every concert with me. You guys are fantastic. These students get up early to come to rehearsals. We have them at 8 a.m. and they really do a fabulous job of, and I know that a lot of that is not of their own doing. So I think that the parents that are helping them, the grandparents, and whoever's waking them up and knocking on that door in the morning, I really appreciate you getting them on time to rehearsal because it makes such a difference in our preparedness for our concerts. And also thanks to the financial commitment to all the strings players. I know string instruments are not inexpensive, and I do appreciate that your financial support to those students and those instruments as well. All right, we have one last selection by a man who's so nice, they named him twice, Philip Phillips. Here's Home.
And as you can see and hear, we have 5 different instruments up on stage. These are kind of the first steps towards band, because when they get up into high school, there'll be about 20 or 30 different instruments on stage. And in this next song, you get to hear all of the 5 different instruments. Well, we're going to combine a couple together, but you get to hear 4 different instruments all together. So the first group you'll hear will be our low brass. So low brass hold those baritones and trombones up high, or 1 trombone and our 5 baritones. We have a 6th who's out sick today. Okay, you'll hear that group featured first, then have a seat. Thank you. Trumpets will be next. You'll get to hear the trumpets, the smallest of the brass family. All of those instruments are made by creating a buzz, and then all the instrument does is amplify the buzz. So we have to work a lot on making sure that buzz works really well. The next group you'll hear will be half of our clarinets. You notice we have a lot of clarinets. So the half that plays first, and then the half that plays second. You'll hear the clarinets divided in half. Here's this, the second half will be on this side. So that way you can kind of hear all of them on their own. And then the last group that you'll hear featured is the flute sitting up front, the smallest of our instruments in 5th grade band. And then right at the tail end of this tune, you'll also hear about, I don't know, maybe 8 students that are kind of featured the last time through. All 8 of those students have taken advantage of the extra help days. I come in once or twice a week during recess, and they can choose to come in and get a little extra help from me. So if they've done that, they get to have a little feature here on the concert tonight. So here is Little Robin Redbreast and each of our sections. So now we've taken you through about the first 6 or maybe even up to 8 weeks of band class. And now we're going to play 1, 2, 3 pieces that take you through about the next, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks beyond that. It holds us with those first 5 notes we've learned, but you'll notice that it does maybe 2 main things to this. One, it makes us play for longer periods of time. It adds repeats in and things like that. And so we're building strength and endurance in our faces, and we're building good air support and air control through that. And then you're also going to notice that it makes a lot harder rhythms and a lot harder in fingering combinations. So it takes what we learned that first 6 weeks and just makes it a little bit tougher for us. And so the next 3 pieces, 2 of them are not in your program. Merrily We Roll Along, A La Rueda, and Good King Wenceslas. And I'm really excited about the last two pieces because for this December concert, we don't always get to play these final two pieces. I don't always make it this far, and this band has done a really good job. The next one, the Frog Song, will add two new complications to us. First off, it adds a sixth note. You'll hear a sixth note added in there, and you're also going to notice that we're playing in multiple parts on this one. So you hear it around. And then Jingle Bells doesn't add any new notes, but it's really complicated one to read because it adds in a repeat sign that doesn't go all the way back to the beginning, which is confusing. It adds in a first and second ending, which is confusing. It's also written on their pages not as a single line, but as 3 lines, so you can play it as a duet or a trio if you would like. So it's a really complicated thing for them to read while they're doing all of this weird stuff with their face and their hair and their fingers. So these two add some new complications, and honestly, by December with the first year band, we don't always make it this far. So it's really, really good for this group, and it's a compliment to them that we've added these two pieces. It reminded me too, there's a new technique in here too with slurring, where so far we have tongued every note. You heard us go ta, ta, ta on every note, and this in these next couple of pieces, you'll hear us start slurring where we go ta without the tongue in there. So yeah, I forgot about that. That's a new take. There's all sorts of new techniques. They're telling me all the new stuff they learned for these two pieces. We're just going to play. For our final piece, I'd just like to thank you all for coming. It's a wonderful crowd. I hope you've enjoyed the concert and all of these fine young musicians. And this is, like I said, a wonderful starting point for our first year groups and a really nice job by the choir and the second year strings. Overall, I always love this concert. I look forward to it every year because of really what it signifies. And I watched this on YouTube today. If you get a chance, search YouTube for, it's the United States Air Force Band Flash Mob in the Air and Space Museum. And it's something that's really cool. It's music that you know, and it's world-class musicians, so it's really, really excellently performed music. But the part that's most striking to me is the video shows a lot of the people, it's a flash mob, so they don't know what's coming. It shows a reaction from the crowd as they're surprised by this music. And the reactions are heartwarming and just show the joy in music making, and I'm really, really glad we get to share that kind of thing with all of you. It's really wonderful to think that we have something that can touch our lives so deeply all the time. And hopefully, here's a nice way to send you off into your holiday season with Jingle Bells.